Buyers reach out to me all the time looking for a town here in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area with great shopping, plenty of access and amenities, and great schools, but they can't deal with the price tag that comes with living in ultra expensive places like Alpharetta or Johns Creek. But what if I told you about a town that has all of these things for a fraction of the price? Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent here in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area. And my team and I specialize in helping clients from all over the world relocate right here to the North Metro Atlanta area. If someone reached out and said they were looking for a town with all the modern conveniences they could need, but with a more manageable price tag, I would tell them about Buford here in Gwinnett County. So let's talk about schools first, because if you're watching this, you likely have kids and schools are on the top of your list. Buford City Schools are widely regarded as some of the best in the state, always ranking incredibly high on sites like niche.com and greatschools.org. They're known not just for strong academics, but also for competitive sports programs. Homes zoned for these schools are limited and demand drives prices up. If you don't live inside the district, which is quite small, you can apply and pay tuition, but students can only apply in kindergarten and 9th grade. The best shot at getting in is living within the city school district, but like I said, it's a very small area and typically it comes with a pretty high price tag. Also, something important to note about schools is that here in Georgia, the school year ends in May and starts back up in early August, like the very first week of August. Buford City School, for example, begins August 1st this year. That's an important detail if you're trying to time your move around the school calendar. We mentioned sports being a big deal here. They are known for having an incredible football program, and they just built a brand new $62 million football stadium. Yes, $62 million on a high school football stadium. This thing houses 10,000 people and it is better than a lot of college football stadiums, especially looking at Division II or III. This is a brand new AstroTurf field and it comes complete with at least 10 private press boxes or covered boxes where you can enjoy the stadium here. This football stadium is amazing and I cannot wait to see how football games are going to be here. Even if you are not a fan of high school football, this should be on your destination list just to check out to see how it's going to go. In fact, I believe that ESPN is airing the very first home football game here at Buford High School to show off this brand new stadium. As if this high school football stadium wasn't enough, it definitely rivals the high school that is directly across the street. Oftentimes when I have clients in town and they drive past the high school, they say, "Hey Sarah, what is that college down the street?" It's not a college. In fact, it's Buford High School. They spent a whopping $80 million on this gorgeous campus. So you have the complete package now. You've got a gorgeous high school and you've got this amazing sports facility right across the street from it. Now, Buford City Schools is amazing, and yet it's not the only great school here in Buford. There are more options to choose from, but they don't have a stadium like this. Now, you often hear people go on and on about how great Suwanee, Cumming, or Alpharetta is, and they're known for their great schools. But Buford has a ton of amazing schools, and it's actually more affordable to live here. Currently, at the time of filming this video, the average sales price in Buford is $586,000. Now, compared to the areas that we just talked about, like Suwanee, it is at $765,000. Cumming is topping out at almost $700,000, and Alpharetta has an average sales price of $869,000. Buford's pricing is so hard to beat, especially considering all of the amenities, the town's location, the school, and so on. Now, like we talked about earlier, the Buford City School District is very small, so there's not a ton of homes on the market in this exact section of town. But if you look at the whole town of Buford, there are currently 360 single-family homes for sale at the time of filming this video. This is a lot of inventory, and when you add in townhomes as well, you're looking at a total of 437 homes on the market in the month of July, which is up a whopping 51% compared to last year. You're going to find older established neighborhoods with mature landscaping and a really peaceful setting that feels like you're not just a few minutes away from the biggest mall in the state. There's also quite a few of new construction opportunities going on in some new neighborhoods, but you also have a ton of ultra modern custom homes that are popping up all over, often in clusters just off main roads. These are big, high-end homes that will put you back well over $1 million. Make sure you stay to the end of this video because we're going to tour one of these huge, ultra luxurious homes at the end of the video and show you what $2 million gets you here in Buford. Buford City Schools definitely gets a lot of great press for having great school systems, but they aren't the only great schools in Buford. They also have Secondier High School, which just opened up a few years ago. It's another big, beautiful school, and they actually have a rating of 8 out of 10 on greatschools.com. Now, Secondier High School was created because Mill Creek High School, another popular school here in the area, just got to have too many kids. It was at capacity. Now, Mill Creek houses students from the areas of Brazelton, Auburn, Dacula, Houston, and Buford, so max capacity because those areas have definitely seen a ton of growth. So they built a new school, which is Secondier, and that is also a very hot spot where it's very sought after. And if you want another great option here in the Buford area, you also have Lanier High School, which also has a rating of 8 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Now, one thing to note about the Buford area is that some parts actually sit in Hall County. So folks who live in this section of the county, you could even attend Flowery Branch High School. There's a tiny portion of Hall County that is actually zoned for Buford City Schools, but it's very small. So if you only want Gwinnett County schools or you only want Hall County schools, you need to make sure that you are aware where you're living in the area to make sure that you're zoned for the school that you want to go to. The location of Buford, it has a benefit in the fact that it has a small stretch of shoreline on the southernmost edge of Lake Lanier, which makes it one of the most accessible places on the lake. It's a pretty small area that's on the lake, so you won't have endless options for lake homes here, and this also means that it comes with a pretty steep price tag. Buford sits right off of 985, which will take you straight down into Atlanta, and there are people that do make this commute. I always have people telling me in the comments that the drive from the metro areas that I talk about are too far from the city for a commute, but people do it every single day. You can get to Atlanta from Buford in just under an hour if the traffic gods are on your side, and it's going to be a little bit more than that on a day-to-day basis, so make sure you factor that in if you are going down into the city for an event, taking advantage of a concert or a sporting event that you want to go to. Now, when it comes to living on Lake Lanier in Buford, if you don't actually want to live on the lake, but you still want to take advantage of it, there's multiple options for you. There is, in fact, a full-scale water park right here in Buford on Lake Lanier called Margaritaville at Lanier Island right here in Buford. It has a hotel, boat rentals, a campground, marina, golf course. It just has pretty much everything so that you can enjoy the water, but not pay the price tag to live on it year-round. And of course, there are tons of great local parks here where you can have great views of the lake, and you can put in your boat on public boat ramps. So lots of great options for you to enjoy the lake outside of Margaritaville at Lanier Islands here in Buford. Now, when I think of Buford, I think of shopping. The Mall of Georgia, which is in Buford, is one of the largest malls in the state, and it's surrounded by every chain store and restaurant you can think of. You know how some malls, like the one in Gainesville, you may have heard me talk about in the past, are just an absolute ghost town and they can't keep good retailers in? Well, this is not the story for the Mall of Georgia. It is thriving and always covered up on the weekends. Since there aren't really many malls on the side of the North Metro Atlanta area, this is one that everyone drives to and it stays busy. There are also about a dozen car dealerships right around the mall, plus you've got big box stores like Costco, Sprouts, Target, TJ Maxx, Sam's, everything. There's also a Topgolf and Andretti indoor go-karting just up the road, so there's plenty to do here on a Friday or Saturday night. Plus you have the Gwinnett Stripers minor league baseball team that is right there as well. So when it comes to living in Buford, you have tons of great access to just about everything that you could want, and this makes it a little bit different than I think the nearby area of Suwanee or even Flowery Branch or Gainesville, because everything is right here and you've got really great schools as well. Buford also has a historic downtown area with some really great locally owned restaurants and shops. One of my favorites is Rico's World Kitchen. There's also a really great restaurant called Aquaterra and Tani Thai. You can't go wrong with any of those three. But it is a very small area. It's kind of like a blink and you're going to miss it type area. When it comes to the location of downtown Buford, it's actually in a completely separate area than the Mall of Georgia. It actually splits 985. So in between the Mall of Georgia area and downtown historic Buford, you've got lots of great neighborhoods sprinkled throughout, and you also have a lot of these great big new modern homes that are being built by builders. I promised you that we were gonna go check out a really fantastic, almost $2 million home. Let's go check it out. Inside this great, big, huge, modern luxury home right here in Buford, listed for under $2 million. This is the perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. You have this nice, great, big, newish construction house, and it's right off the side of the road. The reason for this is that people want good school districts, they want to be close to all of the great amenities, and they want an ultra nice, modern house. There's just not really any land left to develop in terms of having neighborhoods that are like this. You're often going to find developers that will come in and buy up a couple of lots right next to each other and have 3 or 4 homes right next to each other that are really, really nice. Now, this house is something special. So you've got 5 bedrooms and over 7,000 square feet. I am in love with this kitchen. It has a big, huge, expansive island. You've got a chef's kitchen over here where you can cook to your heart's desire, or rather, maybe somebody can cook for you. This is definitely a house that was built for a huge family to take advantage of, or for lots of entertaining. Hey, you. If you are enjoying this video, make sure you're subscribed to our channel because we release new videos just like this every single week. So we're upstairs, and here you've got this nice loft area and 4 additional bedrooms, and I'm curious to know what you think. I actually toured this home when it was being built with some other clients, and one of the conversations we had was about how this upstairs area was going to be finished. So I would love to know your thoughts on all of this glass paneling here. Is that something that you think is really cool and wouldn't mind, or would you see this as a safety hazard or something to be concerned about? Let me know in the comments. One of the unique features about this home is definitely this little butler's pantry area that links or connected over to the dining room. This is really cool and gives it a really nice modern touch. You also have this massive primary bathroom as well with a walk-in closet. All of your finishes that you would expect in a modern home such as this. So now that you have seen and heard more about what Buford has to offer, what do you think? Is this an area that you would consider buying a home in? Do you think it's more affordable or more desirable than Alpharetta or Johns Creek? I would love to hear your opinion. You can find my information by clicking on the link in the pinned comment below this video. If you're interested in learning more about what it's like living here in Buford, make sure you check out this video or check out this one for more options in the greater Northeast Metro Atlanta area.